Hi, welcome back everyone. We want to quickly go over the 504 procedures for new teachers, and then there have been some changes, and so we want to go over those really quickly and what to do during the school year to make sure that we're all in compliance and that we're implementing the service plan for our 504 students. Almost everyone is going to have some 504 students in their classroom, and so we want to make sure that we're following procedures because we want kids to be successful in class. Okay, so just a few things to go over as far as 504. Pretty much the same as last year with the addition of a new procedure in Skyward. So before school starts, we want to make sure that you are aware of your 504 students and their accommodations in class. So we're going to go over that first. So these are going to be the instructions on how to access your students' 504 accommodations in Skyward. So that's different this year. So I'm going to quickly go over how to retrieve your 504 students' accommodations. This will be the initial accommodations. Throughout the school year, we may need to revisit these accommodations, and we'll go over that here in a minute. But here's what you're going to do, and here's what it looks like. So first, what you're going to do is in your Skyward, you're going to click at the top where it says Teacher Access. Step 2, you're going to click on My Section 504 Students. Step 3, you're going to click on this triangle on the left-hand side of the student's name to expand that section. Step 4, you're going to click on the triangle to the left of the Section 504 details, and this will expand that section. Step 5, you're going to click on this triangle right here next to the date to expand that section. Step 6, so in this box, you'll see at the very bottom where it says Forms, you're going to click where it says Print View All, and then Skyward will process that. And so that request is being processed. Once it is, it'll say complete, and you will click on View Report. Now, the report that it's going to pop up with is going to look like this. So you will have these directions in front of you once that report has finished processing. I'm not going to go through these because this is what you'll have in front of you. But once you have checked the box labeled I acknowledge the Section 504 plan, then that lets us know that you have viewed the plan. You can either save the plan in a notebook, save it to your computer, but you now acknowledge that you know who your 504 students are and that you will be implementing the 504 plan. It's imperative that you know this information before the first day of school. If you have any questions on how to view your Section 504 students, or if you have questions about accessing their service plans, please don't hesitate to email the counselors, because we want to make sure that we get this right and that we're all in compliance. All right, so let's keep going. So that is before school starts, and so that is going to be step 1. The rest of this has to do with what you're going to do during the school year for your 504 students, and so it's just a few things here. First, we want to start with completing the teacher input form. So for some of your students, some of your 504 students may need a reevaluation. This basically means either the parent has requested a meeting, we think that the accommodations are not working, or that we need to add or change the accommodations. So we will hold what's called a 504 meeting. That has to include the counselor, an assistant principal, and a teacher. And the teacher is considered the expert on the student. Parents are invited to attend, but it's not necessary that they do. And so when we hold a meeting, we will ask all the teachers, not just a couple, but all of their teachers, to fill out this form. So you will get a link to a Google form through email. It's very simple. You want to make it as objective as possible when you are typing in your responses, and then you'll submit. Let us know if the student isn't using their accommodations. That's something that can be helpful during the meeting. So let us know all of that in the 504 Google form. Okay, next. So because we have to have a teacher at the meeting, you may get invited If you are invited, you will most likely get an Outlook calendar invitation that looks like this. Make sure that you accept the meeting. We try to schedule these meetings around your conference times. Sometimes we do have to have them before school. Rarely do we have them after school. So we really do try to not use you over and over again. But if we ask you to attend the meeting and for some reason you can't, or an emergency pops up, you need to let us know as soon as possible. Don't leave us hanging out there to dry, so especially if we have a parent in our office and we're waiting around for a teacher. So let us know if you can't. And if you are invited to the meeting, make sure that when you attend that you are especially familiar with that student's accommodations, because we will discuss those in the meetings, and we don't want to have anybody embarrassed because they either don't know the student or they don't know the student's accommodations. So make sure you're aware of that. And so make sure you're objective in the meeting as well. Okay, so after we hold the meeting, the counselors will update the files, will update Skyward, and you will receive an email saying that the students' accommodations have been uploaded in Skyward, and you will do the exact same process as you did with the initial service plan. And so that's why I've put steps 1 and 2 here. From there, you should be able to access that student's accommodations. Again, if you have questions, let us know. But to be in compliance, what we're going to say is we did this last year. We're going to give you a full working day to access that student's new service plan. After 4 working days, we're going to be contacting your T-test appraiser. We might even contact your department chair after that day. So make sure that you're doing what you need to do, because this is going to make the student more successful, and we all want that. It's not punitive, but we are mandated by law to implement these plans. So make sure that you are doing your part. Last, like I said, we do have to implement these plans. We have to be on top of that as far as our 504 students. So over here on the screen, I've got actually an example of a 504 service plan. So on this service plan, we try to keep it to 2 pages, make it as streamlined as possible for you. So a couple of things that I want to point out is you can see right here where the disability is listed. We have accommodations, classroom accommodations are going to be listed here. We try to make those as streamlined as possible as well. Again, if you have questions about the accommodations or the way that they need to be implemented, please don't hesitate to email the counselor. Underneath that is the STAR accommodations. Make sure that you're following those as well, especially if you're a STAR tested course. Let us know if you have any questions.